Hello, welcome to Southern Wreaths. Today I have a bonus video for you. I'm going to show you how I make my own signs for my wreaths and also some ornaments. The first sign that you saw here is actually the same type of sign that I made for the Grinch wreath. A few people asked how I made it, so I have it in this video for you. And it's a wreath sign made with photo paper and Dollar Tree canvas. I'm going to start by going to canva.com, and I like to use the YouTube thumbnail option that they have. You can go pro with Canva. I haven't. I find that I don't need it. I don't have to pay because they offer a lot of really good free stuff. I actually use this to make the thumbnails for my YouTube videos. But if you don't want to use Canva, you can use your Cricut Design Space, or you can use paint, anything you want to use. The little crowns that you see here are ones that you can only use if you have Pro, but all the rest of them are free. And you can change the colors of a lot of them. You can change the size. I really like this website. So I really like this. It was the night before Christmas, but I did not like the colors at all. So I'm going to change the colors. And all you do is click on it, and then you can just click on the squares at the top to change the colors to what you want them to be. And I thought I was going to use this star, but when I put it to the red, it looked too pink for me, so I just decided not to use it. But you can have a lot of fun with this. You can play around and make, whatever you want. And you could be more specific in what you search for too. So if you wanted like gingerbread house, you could search gingerbread house. And then once you're happy with it, you can hit download. And then once you hit the blue download button, it will go to your computer. And then you just click on that and open it any way that you would print photos. And mine's just, I think it's called Photos. You didn't see it here, but I do change the orientation to landscape instead of portrait. I do put that I have photo paper, and I put 8x10 because that's what size my paper is. You can see here to the right where the before is that the end of it was chopped off. I actually go back into the website and change it. I just don't show you that. So once I'm happy with it, I print it out, and then I'm just going to use the canvas to lay on the back, and I'm going to outline it with a pen just so it's helpful to show you where I'm going to place it. If you're at home, you don't necessarily have to do that because I'm going to go over it with the what's that thing called? The scoring tool. And when you're in person, you'll be able to see the score lines. And you don't have to use Dollar Tree canvas. You can use, you could probably use cardboard if it's thick cardboard or chipboard. You can use wood if you have wood. I know sometimes Dollar Tree has some wooden signs. I haven't seen any square ones though, which would be nice. I'm going to use Mod Podge to attach it. I make sure of Mod Podge and hot glue. And I do put a lot on here. And I make sure it's all even and smooth before I add it to my picture. Right, and I'm just going to flip the canvas over onto the photo. I need to clean my printer rollers because the edges of my photo have black smears. But you can't see them once I fold it around to the back of the canvas. And you do want to make sure your surface is really clean because my photo paper was really picking up anything and everything on my desk. I didn't even know it was dirty. I wipe it down before I start, and it still ended up with smudges on it. Here I'm just bending it just to get the photo paper to curl over the way I want it to be. And now I'm just going to trim the edges so I don't have that bulk in the corner, and so I don't have to fold it over itself. So I'm going to do the hot glue in steps. The first step, I'm going to hot glue into the crease. And then I'll do like I was showing you before, where I'm folding it onto itself, and I'll just hold it there until it's dry. I found this was the easiest way for me to do it. And then I'm going to add hot glue along the back of the canvas or onto the photo paper, whichever. And then I'm actually going to use a ruler to lay down the flap. If you don't have a ruler, you can just use your table. You'll just have to scrape the hot glue off because there will be excess hot glue. I just did this so I didn't burn my fingers. And I'll do this to both sides. And then I'll just show you how I do the other two ends. I do them the exact same way. I just hold it there and then add more and use my ruler. And the reason you want to cut the diagonal cuts on the edge is because it makes the corners look really nice. They look really finished. So I did find that an eraser for a regular pencil took off some of the smudges that I got on the picture, but this is what it looks like when it's done. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to make a gift bag sign with ribbon borders. I'm also going to make some ornaments in a little bit, so that was everything I was going to use. Alright, I'm going to start by taking off the hanger strings from my gift bag. I do end up using some ribbon from my stash, but you can use Dollar Tree ribbon. My Dollar Tree hasn't had any nice ribbon. It's just the same repeats from last year, and I didn't think any of them would look nice with this. Instead of struggling like I'm doing here, you could actually open the bag first and then cut it. It would make it a lot easier. But I'm just cutting it in half. You can actually use the back side and the front side to make a sign. Just one of them has glitter and one doesn't. And you might want to be mindful of the glossiness of a bag. Like this one's really glossy, but you can find matte bags. And you can also use matte photo paper for the first one, or you can just use matte Mod Podge to go over the top, and it'll take away the shininess. But I find that takes away the glitter too, so I didn't want to use that. So I'm using the flat side to start cutting the edges, just so I kept it nice and straight. I'm cutting just inside the crease around the edges of the bag. Alright, and I'm going to open this part up so I didn't have a thicker top. And then I'll just trim it away. It was a pain to open. And be careful because it did tear, but it tore on the back, not the front. Now, there are holes in this, and if that bothers you, when I made my snowman sign, I didn't show it here, but I took a piece of the side of the bag that I cut that had the same panel, like wood panel background. And I just stuck it behind the holes, and you can't even see that there was a hole there. It just blended right in. I'm cutting my ribbon, and the two on the edge, the two right and left sides here, I should have cut them longer or added them first because I cut them too short. So make sure you cut them a little bit longer so you can fold them around to the back. And I'm just adding it with hot glue. I thought this was a really affordable way to make your own sign. And then once it's done and on a wreath, you can't really tell that it's handmade. It kind of just blends in. And you can add embellishments to it if you wanted to. You could do like 3D things. Like I was thinking of putting a little, one of the sparkly pom-poms on the edge of his hat. You can add greenery in the corners. Okay, so to wrap the ribbon around to the back, I'm going to first come in at an angle. And then I'll crease it in the middle and then just pull it tight. And this keeps it from hanging off of the end. Because if you were just to fold it flat over, it would hang off the end and you would be able to see it from the front. And I'm going to do this to all the sides of the ribbon. here, I'll show you again. I come in at an angle, and then I crease it, and then pull it tightly so it keeps it straight. And then I add glue inside the crease and to the back, and then just pull. And I'll go ahead and do the top one the same way. So to add this one, like I said, I should have made it longer, but it all works out in the end because I lift it up like I did with the photo paper. I'll show you here. Yeah, I just lifted up on it and it put it right in its place. Or you could have put that on first and then added the two ends, and then it wouldn't have been as noticeable. I couldn't really see it once I was done, so it worked out. I'm going to use Mod Podge on the back of the gift bag as well, and I decided to put a piece of construction paper under it so I didn't make a big mess on my desk. And you do want to make sure it's smooth. You want to make sure it's nice and smooth so there won't be any lumps or bumps. It does want to curl up, and I did get Mod Podge on the front of the bag, but luckily it dries clear, so it wasn't a big deal. I did want to go around the corners of the bag and use hot glue just to make sure it didn't curl up. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I made my ornaments. I got a couple Dollar Tree skirts, the tree skirts that they sell for the mini trees. I thought the fabric was so pretty. It was really thick, and I loved the edging. And I bought these ornaments at Dollar Tree as well, and they were 2 for $1. So at the end, when I'm done making these ornaments, each one costs less than $1, which is pretty incredible. And they turn out kind of like the ones you see in the store. I actually went to Old Time Pottery recently, and they had some, and they were like $3 each. And I made mine for less than $1. So I did decide to cut away the snowy part and then just focus on the buffalo plaid. And it has a backing on it, and I just peeled that away. And it came apart really easily. And I'm going to use hot glue. Be careful with the hot glue. There were a few spots on some of the ornaments that the hot glue was melting the plastic of the ornament, so it was kind of bubbling. It was on the fuzzy one I made, so you couldn't tell that it was there. And I actually stuck a glue stick inside the ornament and pushed it out. But just be really careful when you're adding it. I think it's better to add it to the fabric and then instead of the ornament. So to go around after I add the left and the right side, I'm just creasing, kind of like making pleats. And I'll do this all the way around. I'm not going to make you watch me do the entire ornament, but here I'll show you again. I just made a crease, like a pleat. Added the hot glue, and then I'll just hold it there. And when you do that all the way around the ornament, it looks so pretty. It's like nice and creased, and it's really tight. It looked really nice. So at the end, I decided to, instead of cutting off the top, just so I know it's a little more secure to the ornament, I just used my scissors and stuck all the cloth down into the ornament. Added a little hot glue to a piece that was sticking up, and then I'm going to put the little ornament hanger back into the ornament. But first, I wanted to see what it would look like with this furry edging. So I'm just peeling the backing off, and then I rub it to get all the loose, fuzzy pieces. I just wanted to see if this is the way I wanted to go, because I do add my stopper before I add the fuzzy. And you do want to pull apart the little metal pieces, because once you put them in there, they kind of want to stick under under themselves. This was the second ornament I had done, and it is difficult to get it in there, but I learned if you squeeze the metal completely together and then stick it through the hole and then push down, it makes it easier. The first one I struggled. I kept trying to stick one side in and then the other, and I was bending the top, and it was a mess. So I'm pleating this one as well, You don't necessarily have to do that depending on how you attach it. Like I said, this was my second one. With the first one, I didn't do that, but I also noticed that the furry part came down really far in the back, and I didn't like that. So this time I decided to try the pleats, and I thought it turned out okay. These aren't going to be perfect. They're handmade, but they're fun to make, and they're cute, and you can customize them to anything you want them to be. You can just buy fabric. You can have like old clothes, anything. So this had some, what was that, jute string, and I'm just gonna tie a tiny bow and then just trim the ends off of it and glue it to the front of the ornament. I like the brown with the buffalo check. And you want to find the prettiest side to add your embellishments to, because when I'm adding them to the wreath, I want to make sure that it looks nice. I do add hot glue underneath the top parts, the like ornament hanger parts, just so it doesn't pop off because there's so much bulk there. So I decided to try to make some fuzzy ornaments. I've seen these, I think it was at Hobby Lobby, and I thought they were so cute. And this is just the edging of the tree skirt. I cut all of it off and then peeled the backing off and opened them up. And you do want to rub them to make sure you get rid of all the little loose fibers. And then I'm just doing them in sections. And because it's so fluffy, you can't see where the sections touch. I thought they turned out great. They look like little snowballs. Now you don't want to make it turn too much because that will get bumps. And then once you're done, you just find the top and add the ornament top. And you could add more to these if you wanted to, like a little bow at the top, but I thought they were so cute just the way they were. And I also picked up this burlap snowflake glitter tree skirt. This tree skirt is different than the other one because when I'm cutting away this red, I am cutting it a lot smaller than the buffalo check plaid one. So I do end up having to cut this in half and positioning them a different way so that I could wrap them around the ornament. So you do end up with a line in your ornament. It wasn't a big deal to me, but you might not like that. So this one might not be the best one for you to pick up to use. See, I had to cut them apart and then turn them so that I had more coverage. But I do end up putting red around the top of the ornament. So technically you could just use it the way it comes and then just not worry about covering the whole top. Because then once you add the red, you can't see it. But I didn't add the red on both of them. I only added it on one. And again, I'm just hot gluing the two edges. And then this time I decided to do all four corners. And then I did the pleats within the parts that are sticking out. And this was pretty easy to do. It wasn't as, I guess there wasn't a lot of guesswork with it. It was super simple. What I did to one side, I did to the other side. And I just continued around until I had no more parts sticking out. And again, I am going to use the scissors to, cram this into the ornament. This was a little bit thicker material, so it did take me a minute. And then I'm going to add the topper. And this one, I decided to add the red shiny, I don't know what that would be. It's just like a tinsel fabric. But one of them I don't add that to. And they both turned out nice. And I am only gluing the top part right now. I haven't actually glued to the actual ornament yet. I'm only gluing to the stopper. And that just makes it easier for me to attach it. And then I'll go back and add the hot glue to the actual ornament. And now with the back, it was a little bit longer, so I'm just kind of curling it under and tucking it in. And I bought this little bag of these adorable little pine cones at Dollar Tree. They were so tiny and so cute. And then I decided to use the little, what is that, like a little sprig. It's like a little pick from the ornament, the Santa ornament. Sorry about the lighting here. The sun was really blaring through the windows and it does something to my camera. But I'm almost done. So I just bent the end of the pick so that I could stick it in between the two pine cones, and then I just add hot glue and I hold it there. And this is what it looks like when they're done. I thought they were so cute. I had a lot of fun making these. There's the picture sign. There's a Santa sign. I also made a snowman sign. I didn't record that. And there's the snowball ornament. And there's the buffalo check ornament. And the burlap ornament. And here's all the ornaments together. Okay, if y'all have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or you can email me at craftingwithlee@yahoo.com. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.